Hello everybody and welcome to another Football Manager 2019 experiment, and today our task is to see if we can get a Northern Irish team from the third tier to the Champions League and actually win it. Now this is very unlikely to happen, but you don't quite know if you don't give it a go. So I've picked out Dollingstown FC. The only reason for this literally is because I've played with them on one of my personal saves. So that's literally the only reason. There is no good reason to picking them. So what have I done to the club to help them along the way? Because they're very unlikely to do it if we just let the game run. So if we do edit club details, so I've done nothing to reputation or anything like that. How many fans come to the club? However, I've given £980 million. Not quite a billion, because the game seems to roll over to minus, because that's just the way it works. We've done £250 million in transfer budget and about 5 million a week, which is the max for manager allows in wage budget, and again them a front end sugar daddy. Of course, that's just something you do. Facilities, I haven't changed anything in terms of the stadium itself, apart from the capacity, which I've increased to 200,000. I think that's like 8% of the Northern Irish population or something like that. So, you know, that's quite a significant part of the province. In either case, that would be coming to the game. If the club ever realises its potential. That's the only thing I've changed about the stadium. So that allows like the perfect shell to be built. Surprisingly, they got no undersoil heating. Then again, it's a semi-professional club in Northern Ireland. What am I expecting? Sorry, Northern Irish people. What I've done as well is I've given the training, the youth, the junior coaching, the youth recruitment, and the club facilities 20 each, because you know. So it's kind of like a perfect shell, and it partly isn't. I thought I'd do something different because it's so easy to give them a perfect shell, or just give them £1 billion or something like that. And, you know, normally as well, but in this events tend to happen across an entire footballing nation rather than a particular club. And I thought, you know what, let's do something different. Pick a club that you wouldn't expect. So as I just hit my microphone there. Pick a club you wouldn't expect to either make it to the Champions League and actually see what happens. Oh, and the last thing I have changed, it's professional status, and in the pre-game editor, what I actually have done is made sure that the contracts are all professional contracts. So, because this club actually works on non-contracts in real life, as of, well, now, June 2019. But what I've actually done is I've ensured it's going to be a professional club. It's part of this perfect shell, but it isn't quite. Experiment that I've got. So, yes, can Dollingstown FC, affectionately known as the Dollybirds, can they really make it to the Champions League? But certainly, the first thing that they need to do is try to get up to the Northern Irish Prem and actually try and get into the Champions League. That'll be the aim. I'll just remind everybody right now, if they're not familiar with Northern Ireland, which includes myself, to be fair. So we'll go with Northern Irish rules. As you can see, it's your 38-game season with your split in two. So if you're familiar with the Scottish Premier League, it's like that. So what you actually up having for in terms of European qualification is, so you'll have the champions going into the first qualifying phase of the Champions League, and then you'll have the Europa League teams trying to qualify through their prelims, and of course they have European Places playoff final. So that's quite intriguing, actually. I think that must be between like 4th and 5th. We shall see. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a noob when it comes to football that doesn't involve England. I do apologise. This is why I normally stick to F1. But anyway, let's see what happens after a few years. So, here we are, 5 years into the future. Let's see how they've been doing. If I actually get my keyboard, that would be very useful. I do apologise. So, why am I spelling it out loud? Those should surely come up. Oh, they're in the Northern Irish Prem. It looks like they finished. Oh, hold on. It looks like they've been winning some Prems here. Oh, well. I should have really gone to this screen, but whatever. Let's see how they've managed to get there. And they are in the Champions League, so that's stage one, really, getting them to the top of Northern Ireland. So let's look at the senior squad schedule. And then we'll look some plays in a second. So let's start with their first season. So haven't looked there. They've had patch league fun where they're getting loads of losses in a row, but then they were starting to do very well. I think they got the last, was that 3, 6, 7. We're unbeaten in the last 10 league games, so that's good. That's good. And just let me scroll across so I can see the competitions. Yeah, so they did okay in the Irish Intermediate Cup. They got to the 5th round of the Northern Irish Cup, so that's not bad because that's like 2 or 3 rounds away from the quarterfinals. That's decent. And if we have a look back on the overview, you can see that in 2018-19, there we are, that they finished P8. If we have a look at the table for that, yeah, okay, 26 points. They were only 3 points off relegation. I think it's a relegation playoff, isn't it? Just let me check the rules. I should probably have done this beforehand, but you know, the professionalism of the channel. You should know this by now if you've not already. And if you're first time viewer, I do apologise. Yeah, so there is a playoff. So no, that's second position. Sorry. So it's just bottom team that's relegated. I should really pay more attention. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, let's actually get back to the schedule and have a look at 2019-20, where they got promoted, as you'll have seen on that chart. And yeah, they went unbeaten in the league. They went unbeaten in the league. So that's great. In the NIFL Cup, which is Northern Irish League Cup, they only got as far as the third round, sorry. But I think, yeah, all right, they went to the 6th round of the Irish Cup, which isn't brilliant. But I think they actually won the Irish Intermediate Cup final. They won the Mid-Ulster Cup final. And also they won the third tier, the second championship. So yeah, they did really well there in that second season to go unbeaten in the league. And only be beaten twice in competitive football. That's a great season for them. I'm aware that in the second championship in Northern Ireland that they only actually play 22 games a season. But, you know, you still got to go unbeaten in them. Even if it was just one game, you still got to not lose it. So, yeah. So, if we move on to... let's actually look at the table. Looking here. And, yeah... comfortably, 60 points, 17 points ahead in a 22-game season. That is, well, that's dominance. That's the sort of dominance you expect from Michael Schumacher or Mercedes if we're talking F1. Or in McLaren 1988. Those are my reference points. It's that level of dominance or the 100-point season for Man City in 2017-18. As you can see, they got promoted the following season. So let's have a look at that. Oh, I thought they were about to do another unbeaten season, but I think they lost one game in the league. But as a promoted team, look at all this green! Absolutely pushing the boundaries. Wow. And, yeah, okay, they're not always winning by the biggest of margins, but it's only like 1 or 2 goals normally, but, you know, they're getting the job done. Okay, let's see how they did in the cups. If we actually just filter it, it's just so it's easier. So let's get rid of the league. Hold on, that's the wrong league. Let me actually. Sorry, I do apologize. Is that the one? Yes, there we go. You see, so you can see that they managed to get to the Irish Intermediate Cup 4th round. They didn't retain that, unfortunately, but they managed to win the Northern Irish League Cup. So, you know, they have managed to win that whilst not actually being a top tier team. That is, wow, that is fair play to them. They got to the 6th round of the Northern Irish Cup again. They didn't quite win the Mid-Ulster Cup either. They only got to the quarters, but, you know, all in all, they've actually had quite a solid season there. And obviously, they got promoted, so you can't really moan. And then they actually managed to win the league back to back. Let's just have a look at this. Yes, well, that is comfortable. What's that? 29 points. Trying to think. They may have even possibly. You can't really review now. They may have even possibly have won the league before the league got split. That is how big a margin they have. 29 points. Well, that's incredible. You can only get 15 points from the last 5 games of the split. So they may have already have won it before we even knew who were playing who. So that is incredible. So the following season, they obviously are in the Northern Irish Prem. And wow, it looks like they really have taken advantage of all their money. They won the Irish Cup. Well, that's incredible. They won the Mid-Ulster Cup. So that's excellent. They lost the Northern Irish League Cup final. So, it wasn't quite the perfect season, but let's be honest. They've done a domestic treble, haven't they? Because they've won the Northern Irish Cup, they've won the league, and they've won the Mid Ulster Cup. So that's a very, very good treble for them. So undeniably, yeah. And let's actually have a look at their league season. Looks like they lost a few games, but actually that is clearly title-winning form. Yeah, that's incredible. They won by 14 points over teams of like your Lions, your Coleraines, your Crusaders, like your big Northern Irish teams. So they're doing quite well. Fair play to them. And if we then bring it to the season that's just gone by. Sorry, that's just my phone in the background if you heard it. Oh, they actually played Manchester United's under 23s and they lost. As a Leeds fan, that is very disappointing considering they couldn't even beat the under 23s Manchester United just because of the first minute goal. Okay, that's a friendly anyway. Obviously, from that, they managed to get into the Champions League, but I don't think it went very well because it looks like they lost 1-0. Despite the fact their opposition, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but I think they're from Bucharest. Okay. And then in the Europa League, they lost against Maribor. So they didn't get any actual football. They won the Northern Irish Shield, so that's good. Did they do the invincible season in the league? Oh, not quite. They lost one game against Linfield, but you can see why they've won the league, because they damn rarely went invincible. There were 5 games of going invincible. It appears though in the Cups hasn't been so successful. Yeah, they lost the Mid Ulster Cup semi-final. Again, the 6th round of the Northern Irish Cup. And didn't actually play in... Oh yeah, they actually did play in the League Cup, but they lost in the semis. But they're getting close. They probably arguably won the most important thing, which was the league. And, they are getting to the final rounds of the Cups. So clearly, they are becoming a powerhouse of Northern Irish football. Let's have a look in the editor. Let's see how they're doing. Their finances now. Okay, they're still above £750 million. Their transfer budget is £98,273,492. They've got just under 1.6 mil in terms of wages. They've still got a front-end sugar daddy. Their facilities, are they keeping on top of those? No, because the train's now gone down to 18. The youth's down to 19. They're still playing in a 1,000-seater. Okay. What if they've got any rivals? No. Obviously, they're favouring players. That's not really important. Have they got any affiliates with that? No. Okay. Fair enough. Let's have a look at their team that they've got now. I'll look through the players, but that'd be tricky. Okay, so they've actually got 138 potentials. So those are the levels of, like, if you're talking English football, if they reach the potential, that is the sort of level you'd expect Championship players to be at, possibly pushing promotion. So, okay, that's decent. Let's have a look at Sam McWilliams. Let's have a look at him. Yeah, okay, he's actually from the club. He's 17 and he's already playing for the first team. That's quite good. So yeah, we've got Kevin Long, who appears to be their best player. He's actually Irish. He's actually a real player. Let's have a look at his history. So they signed him on a free, after playing many years at Burnley. Okay, that's quite interesting. Actually picking up an English Premier League player, taking him to the Northern Irish Premiership. Oh, and clearly he's flourishing. Clearly he's a good player for that level. In fact, I'd probably say he may be almost overpowered. But I think they're getting to a stage now where are they going to start to struggle to keep their top players, but they can still retain a level of players that are way above everybody else? Are they going to that Celtic mode of they're the top club of the country, but are they not quite reputable enough to be kept? Is it not a challenge enough for players? That remains to be seen. Tell you one thing that we can do, actually. If we now go into the shortlist, let me go into the player search, and I will add a condition when my computer, which is a little bit of the potato, as gaming PCs goes. I love my PC, but it is a little bit slow. If I then go into... Let's try and find... Homegrown status. Yes, that's the one. Hold on, I'm going to have... Because I've got it zoomed in, I'm going to have to do it manually. Trained at club. I'm going to have to find him. choose over. This is what you are totally tuning for me to actually go searching on Team Finder. But let's actually look for him. If I can spell, that would be great. Oh no, I can't. I can't spell, can I? That should help search him. Yes, so like he was actually homegrown from the club. Since they've got excellent youth. So like say those who are trained at Dolly. Wow. So Elton Mines, he's at Manchester United. He's 11.75 million. He's currently in there under 23s. He was bought for 3.6 million for Cumberland's Crew. Who got him on a 3 from... that must be so irritating. So if we look at his attribute details... predicted to be 166. Yeah, that is definitely Premier League quality. Maybe not necessarily be a world beat, but he's going to be good. Scott Roche... let's have a look. Yeah, he's at Chelsea's under 23s. Let's look at the history. On a 3. I think the problem is they're keeping their players because they're so good. They don't wish to cash in because they also want to favour themselves. But then the players don't want to renew their contracts because Northern Ireland isn't as reputable as England, obviously. So they're losing players on a 3. But, gonna say, maybe they need to think about cashing in on their players. That would be an idea. Look at Jerry O'Leary. That is a very stereotypical Irish name, I must say. But let's look at his attribute details. He's currently at Crusader, so he's actually still in Northern Ireland. He was only bought for £1,600. But I believe he's going to be quite good, yeah. Currently 122 and potentially built to 155, so he's got potential to be an English Prem player. The top one is Matthew McGill, apparently, according to value. He's currently at Dollingstown, so he's still stayed there. He's predicted to get to 129. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad indeed. Okay, so there's quite a few players here. Wonder who is their most valued player is if I actually put through. Oh, it's actually stayed on value, but it's not showing me this. They have a lot of players. I'll tell you one thing I may do. I may actually insert current and potential ability. That would be something to do. Current ability. Other way around. So yeah, so it's the Scott Roche, then you got the Ellen Maz, then you got Jerry Ellis. They are the top players. They have to spend their value. But what about their potential? See if we've actually missed the highest potential player. If we actually go to hidden, that'd be great stuff. Come on! Stop being an idiot! Sorry about this. Hidden. Come on, please. Potential ability, that's the one. Predict my potential ability. Yeah, you still got your Mines, your Roche, your O'Leary. This Adam Hughes as well, 154, he also looks pretty decent. He's currently at LAN, he's a right winner. Okay, he looks decent. Let's have a look at his attribute details. He's predicted to get to 154. Well, that's his cap, should I say. It's not a prediction. 18 years old. You never know. Okay. So Dollingstown, yeah, so their aim now has to be to try and go far in the Champions League. Let's have a look at the Northern Irish Prem, by the way. Let's see actually how they did in the season gone by. I don't think I necessarily went through that, so I'll just double check. So yeah, 14 points again. Was it? Yeah. Another 14-point gap. Atlanta kind of going with them, but Dollingstown becoming even more dominant. So has to be said that they really starting to cement themselves in Northern Irish football. So, you know, the question is now can their performances boost reputation in the league? It is starting to go up. It was the 115th when I started the sim, and now we're up to P78. So reputations do matter because, of course, those will be Champions League places. There'll be Europa League places. See if it's any different. Now the rules for European places. Third to seventh go for the European places playoff. Okay, so yeah, still the Champions League first qualifying phase, Europa League first qualifying round. I think they may have actually changed. Yeah, I think they've got an actually Europa League place now. Are they? I'll have to double check. In fact, I'll tell you what. Please double check for me and let me know and tell me to stop being an incompetent fool. Anyway, like sim ahead another 5 years, and I shall join you in the year 2028. So, okay, it's now 2028. We've seen that England have now had France in a game at the Euros. Happy with that in the second round as well, but we're not interested in that. Let's look at how the Dolly Birds have been doing. Let's just look at the overview. Oh, they actually didn't win the league in the third season, but they are kind of Celtic in it. Otherwise, the reputation is now up to a nice firm 2 stars. Their captain and vice-captain are now regens, but they've still got a 1,000-seater stadium. Have they not thought to expand it at any point? But clearly not. Yeah, let's just see how they've been doing in the league. It's like... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. So that's where we left off. Oh, they lost by 1 point to Larne. Larne must have absolutely nailed that season. The Dolly Birds, yeah, they lost on the fact that they won one less game. Okay, they had 2 more draws. They had a better goal difference. So had they just drawn another game of one of those 4 they lost, they'd have been there. But then the following season, they were 9 points clear of Larne, 93 points. So they had to work for it, definitely, that's for sure. Then 101 the following season, 25-26. Then 102, 2026-2027. They really are becoming the Celtic of Northern Ireland. In fact, they're probably even more dominant than that, arguably. And 2027-28, only the 97 points. But then again, apparently that wasn't enough for Liverpool. So, you know, can't mock too much. 30 wins, 7 draws. Oh, so fair play to him. I think that isn't identical record to Liverpool. I think that's what Liverpool actually did. They lost one game, drew 7 and won 30 in the English Prem in 2017-18. And that wasn't enough. So yes, it's clear that the Dolly Birds, they are dominating Northern football. There is no doubt about that. So the thing would be, let's look at the schedule. Let's go back. This is a season coming, so we don't want that. So we want to be going back to 2023-24. This is a season they didn't win the league. Don't have particularly crucial periods. No, not really. They just sort of... Oh, maybe the 3 draws towards the end of the season. They played Larne in a penultimate game. Oh... That has to be so annoying. That if they've won that game, the point swing would have been in their favour. They would have won the league. That is quite disappointing, but, you know, having cut up from the third tier to have only won the league, just check how many times before I try and comment, you know, only 6 times out of 7. You know one thing, like, as at least now, if we went up in 1920 and then only won Prem 6 out of 7 times from 2020-21 onwards, I wouldn't be too disappointed, let's be honest. And I don't think my fellow Loiners would be. But anyway, so yeah, it's clear that it's just the end of the season where they probably had a bit of the bottle job. But let's get rid of the league, because I like seeing them doing in Cups and Europe. So, they got through the first round of the Champions League qualifying, and a second, and the third, they got quite work out because they got knocked out by Razgrad. And then, that's a tough draw in Europa. Damn near against Malmo, who won a season's absolute strongest side. So, that's tough. But I do believe they actually... No, they didn't win the Northern Irish League Cup. They got knocked out of the Northern Irish Cup in the 5th round. Losing, I guess, of Larne of all people in the League Cup final must have been on. But they won the Ulster Cup. So, that's something for them. So, but that's still a trophy. Since season 2 on the experiment, they have won at least 1 trophy in every season. That just shows that they are making strong progress. If we go to the following season, they only got into Europa League because they didn't finish first, and Levski Sofia beat them, I believe, on away goals. Yeah, because it was 2-2, but they didn't score away, and they conceded at home. So yeah, that's them knocked out. But it appears they won every cup. They won the League Cup, they won the Ulster Cup, they actually won the Northern Irish Cup, so they did the domestic quadruple. Fair play to Dollingstown now, and if we go to the following season, 25-26, so they got as far as the third qualifying round of the Champions League. Then Dynamo Zagreb knocked them out. I think they're a Croatian side, ain't they? Let's actually check before I embarrass myself. Yeah, they're crushing it. Okay, that's good. That's good. But then Rosenborg defeat them in the Europa League fourth qualifying round. This must have been annoying. They lost in the Northern Irish Cup quarter final. They lost quite early on in the Northern Irish League Cup. Like once again, the Whittle Cup. That has been a good. How do I put this? It's been a good place for them to win trophies. I'll leave it at that. That's quite flowing off my tongue at the moment. The Bears they got much further in the Europa League qualifying rounds this time. I've just noticed they want to try to cheat in 2026, 2027. Did they do it in the previous season? Yes, they did against Lingfield. Okay. Were they in it the year before? No. They weren't because they didn't win the cup and they didn't win the league. So, yeah, anyway, let's get on to the season of 2026, 2027. Oh, yes, Karen! Leeds beat them. Sorry. I'm still a Leeds fan at heart. Doesn't matter who we play. I still want us to win. But only 1-0. Ryan Emerson going to go. Okay. Decent. Okay. So they beat Dukelange in the first round of the Champions League qualifying rounds. Then they lost to Bromby. Coming up against, I think they're a Swedish side from mistaken. No, the Danish, sorry. I do apologise about that. And they got as far as, again, it's the Europa League fourth round. Okay, going through the Champions this time, but still, I feel like they're lacking the quality to get through the bigger stages. Okay, actually, they lost in the Middlesbrough Cup. Oh, finally. And lost in the Northern Irish Cup quarter-finals. But they did win the League Cup. Again, winning at least one trophy every season. And indeed, they won the league as well. So, it's clear that they are bringing in the trophies. Because they're mostly winning 2 a season. And they're certainly winning at least one of the cups. I think around to the Europa League group stage here, judging by the looks. So they went through the Champions League. If I actually picked the right ones. So they went through the first round, they went through the second, and then the third round of the qualifying. And then they actually lost the playoffs against Faber Hanse. However, if you do lose in the Champions League playoffs before the group stage, you do get into the Europa League group stage. And that's what they did. But they got a tough group with Zagreb, Bordeaux, and Dynamo Kiev. That's a tricky deal. That has to be said. I don't think they disgraced themselves. I mean, a 1-1 draw, 2-0 loss, 3-0 loss. Okay, against Kiev, maybe, but then only 1 loss and 3-0. Okay. That wasn't great, but I wouldn't say they were totally outclassed there. But there's also much they could do with the gulf of quality there. Lost in the Irish Cup final, the Northern Irish Cup final. Oh, that must be annoying. But they got to a final again. But they also won the Middlesbrough Cup. And if look at in extra time, won the Northern Irish Cup. In the 96th minute. So, yes, just glad they've had success with the trophy, because if we then look at their history now, that trophy cabinet's been quite full. They've even been winning the Iron Brew Cup, which is obviously the competition in Scotland. It's a Challenge Cup, but that's like for the non-Premier League teams in Scotland, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. When did they win those? Let's look at the overview, because I'd be intrigued. I've missed that. I'm very sorry about that. 2027 and 2028. So they really are showing strength. Because, of course, the Northern Irish Premier League winners do actually go into the Challenge Cup in Scotland, so that's quite intriguing. So, yeah, they've been winning loads of trophies. This trophy cabinet is much more full than it used to be. You can see in the club background, it is describing their many victories in recent times. I forgot to show you before, though, was the transfer, so we do apologise about that. See the brilliant. Okay, so there's 2 offers for this guy, Connor Hazard. He looks okay actually. Only valued at $7.5 grand. Sorry, 7 3/4 of grand. Okay, he's not too bad. Good words for a goalkeeper. Then you got Bobby Bird from Dundee United, who they're trying to get. Who is actually in real life a Hearts player who they've just bought from Glenavon, but they've got for $175 grand. If we look at his attribute details now, yeah, okay, 99, potential 108, okay. Basically, there is a clear standard player that they're attracting, but hopefully, with the fact they managed to get to Europa League group stage, they may be able to attract better players going into the 2030s. Yeah, 88 to 110 for Darren Brown, who's a regen. Only valued at 45 quid. He gets paid 110 a week, so more than twice his value in salary a week. Intriguing. Okay. Let's look at the transfer history because I forgot to look at that at the very beginning. So let's just look at the values of the players they've been bringing in. So none and none in their first season, then in the second. Oh, it's not showing me who's been coming in. It's not showing me the value for some reason. So we'll go by a fee. Let's just bring it up. Yeah, 5.5k. Yeah, they spent it in the second season. Then in the fees, yeah, they are spending a lot of money. 25 grand, 23 grand. That's a lot in Northern Ireland, I would imagine. In 2021, they're spending 72 grand from the rivals land. Well, we'll say rivals. Then they're spending for six-figure sums. Playing players from Leyton Orient, Wellington Phoenix, so players from England and New Zealand. That's quite intriguing. They even letting players go to Chelsea. Scott Roche, who I've mentioned earlier. And then, they're spending good money. 450 grand for this guy. He may not be at the club anymore. He's now at Coleraine. But how did he do for Dolly? They let him out on loan. So was the squad too good? Because he actually probably is decent for Northern Irish Premier League level. But of course, we are trying to see if Dolly can win the Champions League at some point. He is ambitious. I spent 140 grand on a player with 180 option on Neil Duffy from Lamb. See if he's any good. And recruit loads. He's got some 15 plus attributes. 119 potential 189, but he's 4, so he may struggle to get there. Okay, they're not really selling players. Or saying that they've sold somebody to Waterford. Where are Waterford? Is that Ireland? Yeah, it's Ireland. So going the other side of the border. Intriguing. But the ball player, Con has it. He's the guy we saw earlier. Bought from Hibs for 2.2 million with an option to be 2.8. That is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Clearly must have been like a backup player or something at Hibs, but they also bought Ryan McLaughlin from Rochdale for 205 grand. He's now just a coach, but if we look at his career stats, how did he do it, Dolly? Okay. He only played one season there, but he played with an average of 7.08, so that's not bad at all. I imagine he's a midfielder looking at those stats. But no, buying a player for 450 quid. Okay, and then they're starting to really establish cash. I think with time they've been able to attract players because they're buying from a lot of English clubs like Oxford, Bradford, Doncaster, and it's more from the rest of the UK as well because you've got Hearts as well, and also they've been buying from Hibs too. They just need to be buying from Wales, but you can, I suppose, the only players they'd be wanting will be at TNS. But anyway, less about the New Saints. Shane McCartan bought it from Bradford for 400 grand. He is Northern Irish himself. He started at Glenavon, then he also went to Burnley, Hyde, Accrington Stanley, Bradford, and I just discovered the delicious Iron Lincoln City League 2 side. Guess what Bradford are going in 2019-20 League 2, and didn't Lincoln City get promoted as well? Am I deluding myself in real life? Yeah, you'll probably collect me on that. It's played well for the Dolly Birds, 7.18 and then 7.58 averages. Okay, admittedly, he only played 5 games in the previous season. Did he have any injuries? That'd be something to note in 2027, 2028. Oh, he had a hip injury for 3 months and then he pulled these ankle ligaments. So he's probably trying to force his way into a winning team. He'll have found that quite difficult. I imagine that's what's going on there. It's one you just can't afford to leave the side out. You got Gavin White from Oxford. We'll have a look at him. Okay, he's not too bad. He's in a team midfielder on the centre and the right. He can play in the left as well. He can play in midfield if he really wants to. It's right, but okay, that makes sense. If he plays, 93 Sorry, 95 current ability, 128 potential. As playing well for the Dolly Birds? Yes. See, I think, yeah, it's clear that the Dolly Birds may not be acting the best players in the world, but they are OP for the level they're playing at. But anyway, yeah, they're not really making money on players. That I am noticing. That's consistent. But yeah, here is a big money year. So they've bought 2 players from Newcastle with a combined fee of, this is just a starting fee of 11.3 million, if I'm not mistaken. And that could easily rise to 14.3 million. They're really splashing the cash at last. So we've got Sean Longstaff from Newcastle. Of course, 2.8 million valued central and attacking mids. Okay. So Chris, that's 10.5. He is good. He is good. He is good for this level. But they overpaid for him. Yeah, 100. Yeah, if he was 18, you'd be like, whoa, but he's not. He's 30. Well, he is now. In this save, and then you've got Daniel Barlaser, who was not as much. He can play central mid, attacking central, and attacking left. He's right-footed, so I'm assuming he must play as an inside forward if he's an attacking left. Let's look at his attributes. 112. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to potential 137. But he's a Turkish youth international, so that's big. And then we've got Leon Donnelly for Motherwell. 2.3 million. He's Northern Irish as well. If we look at his history, where did he come from? He actually played at the Nuggin Swifts, and then Fulham picked up. Then was to Crawley 10. Then he went to Hartlepool on a 3 when they were down and sliding, through their financial problems. The Motherwell bought him for 20k, probably a steal, I would imagine. But then again, Hartlepool were in strife around that time, with their slide down to the conference. He didn't really do well for Motherwell, but for the Dolly Birds, he's been good value. Maybe not good value, but he's been played very well for him. Average of 7.13, you can't moan too much. If we look at his attribute details, 109, potential 110. Okay, so he's pretty much reached his potential. We might as well say he has for the sake of argument. And then got Paul Smith, who's a right-only footed player. Plays on the attacking right. He can play up front as well. I suppose he can play at the left in the centre if he has to. He's an Northern Irish international with 1 in 3. He's first 28 grand a week, though. I've just realised the wages, 28 grand. Jesus. You've all probably shouted at me about the wages in the video earlier. I do apologise. So yeah, it was a bit of a meh play for QPR. I mean, he had a good final season. Actually, he only played 2 games in the final season for QPR before the Dolly Birds bought him out. But 7.56 average rating, he's been doing well. Okay, he may have only scored 13 goals, but 6 assists, 6 player of the matches. He's clearly a good player, and he started out at Linfield, it appears, yes. So he's been quite a very decent pickup. So that's in the season just gone by. Again, they're not really seeing players. This Kevin Savage, let's just have a look at him just for the lols as well. So he's 24, Northern Irish. He was at Crusaders and must have picked up on the 3. Must have been able to have attracted a better higher calibre of player there. He only played 10 games, but 6.98 for a goalkeeper on FM, that's probably quite decent to be fair. Because keepers have to pay an absolute worldie to get good ratings, it has to be said. And then there's nothing there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm now going to go onto my list. And I'm now going to see the players that were trained at the Dolly Birds. It's already above now. See, have they been churning out good youth? That's what I'm intrigued to see. Have they been churning out good players? Potential ability 106. Got Elton Martins at Leicester, who are currently in the Prem. Contest. I haven't loaded the England man. I've just loaded Northern Ireland for the sake of experiment, but he is good, a good attacking mid. But he's only in form, and then again when you're attacking mid, I suppose. So, can I say those ratings are not actually okay. They're not great for the English Prem, has to be said. But he clearly did enough for the Dolly Birds to be picked up by the Columbus crew. I've actually seen him in the beginning of the save. They got Scott Roche, who we've seen before. He's getting close to filling his potential. He's a decent attacking left. He'll do well in the Prem. 11 goals from 52 for Northern Ireland. Well, actually, we'll look at Northern Ireland in a moment, their national team, see what impact the Dolly Birds have been having on the national side as Facebook goes off again. I just remembered I've got to go very soon onto Discord, but I'll sort that soon. We will get this bit sorted and done. Don't you worry about that. Then got Jerry O'Leary, who we've seen before. Like see how he's doing. But they're earning big wages. Certainly, there's been a big influence from Dolly Bears on the province of Northern Ireland here. But again, these players are just not quite cutting it at English level. These, like I said, they're probably turning out players that would be amazing for the Championship. And for an English side trying to avoid relegation from the Prem, they'd probably be good as well. But it's just not quite happening for them. Then you've got Stephen Savage. Is he related to the Kevin Savage below? Let's have. Well, I'll check the information. I'm assuming not, because I don't think they do siblings as regions. Well, not many of them anyway. They would be quite rare. So he's been decent. He's been averaging over 7 consistently. 7.15 career, but he clearly is in that. He clearly is a 7+ player in Northern Ireland every time. I mean, look at the apps he's playing and the amount of goals trainer. He's 1 in 2, man. 1,509, so he's just under 1 in 2. But yeah, that's quite good. Then got the Stephen Savage. Well, the reason we looked at. Sorry, I'm being an idiot. Kevin Savage. Who's a goalkeeper. I think we may have seen him already. Yeah, so he's the one who Crusaders. Okay, let's look at the current abilities. Changes as much. See who's actually the Dolly Birds' best produced player. That is the Scott Roche. Yeah, so it's the same old players, really. They're producing solid players. But, I think what they need to do to go to the next level is they need to develop worldies, but somehow keep them. The only thing that I can see helping them is doing a Celtic, and they've just got to churn out Northern Irish Prems year after year after year after year, but it looks like they're well on the way to be doing that. Let me actually go back to the Dollars and let's see how they're doing, because the reputation is doing well. Let's actually look at how they're doing. I mean, the reputation is nearly 4,000, so that's not bad. That's 10 for 2.5, so they're just under 750 million, so they actually are not making much of a loss. I'm sure the European football's been helping them. Got a transfer budget of 45.8 million and 1.82 million in the wage budget. They're still at the front and Sugar Daddy. So as I've alluded to earlier, still not done anything with the stadium at 17 and 18 for training youth. They probably do need to improve those. And they've got the money to keep it on top of that. That has to be said. It's not like the Skins. They're not developing any rivalries. They're starting to develop some favoured people at last. They've got some parents like Scott Roche and Colin Clark who came through their youth system. And yeah, okay. There's really much to say about that. Have they got any plans to go to a further stadium? Go to facilities? No. Right, but they do play at different places for the Champions League. So they go to Montview Park, for example. I don't know what this is just doing. It's just moving places down. I see what it's doing. Yeah. So they play at Glenavon's stadium for the Champions League, or they play at Windsor Park, which is Northern Ireland's national stadium, and it's owned by Linfield. Okay, this is quite intriguing, actually. Okay. So where did they go from here? Because I'll just remind you, they have been dominating the Northern Irish Prem. If we go back to the stages, let's go back to the year before they actually came up. So this is the year before they came up. 74 points. Those are the point scores you need him at the end of the season. Then they blow it with 82. Then with 89. They miss out with 86. But then with 93, 101, 102, 97. They have become the Celtic of Northern Ireland, but the question is, can that help Northern Ireland to go forward? Also, we're looking on the base. So Northern Ireland actually sunk a little bit in terms of reputation. Now it's to 82nd. That's quite a surprise. But as you can see from the right hand side of the screen, 6 in 7 Prems. And they call it putting their stranglehold in Northern Ireland. What about Northern Ireland themselves? That's probably what a question should be asking. And how Northern Ireland doing in the world? That's probably a good question to be asking. I'd have to zoom out for world ranking, but the fact they are 6 squad, kind of where you'd expect them to be, in all honesty. But the Dolly Bears, you can see, are the most reputable club now in Northern Ireland. Let's compare that to Lan, who are their most reputable club. Yeah, 3,133. So clearly, winning all the silverware that the Dolly Birds are probably will help them long term because there will be eventually able to attract stronger players. For example, do you think that any players that would join Celtic in the Scottish Premier League who would be realistic targets for them and can actually enhance their squad? Do you think they'd play for any other club in the Scottish Premier League? You may say Rangers, you may say Aberdeen, you may say after the season they've had Kilmarnock, but you'd be struggling, in all honesty. I love how funny though, as a Leeds United fan, the fifth top player in Northern Ireland is Bailey Peacock Farrell of all people. I've just got to have a look for the lols, since he's been moaning about game time recently. Yeah, apart from this good season with Blackburn, he's been rubbish. There is a reason why us Leeds fans getting some chances. But anyway, this is not about Leeds. If you wanted to do a video about Leeds, I'll do another video. And if you really want me to do, let me know in the comments. But anyway, so let's go another. Let's do another 10 years actually into the future, I would say. And we'll come back in 2038 and see how the Dolly Birds are doing. So I shall see you in a bizzle. So, we're now in the year 2042, sorry. I may have gone to bed and left the game simming, and it seemed faster than I expected. So, there you go. So, we've got a bit more to look at now in 2042. So, let's search for him. When am I outside? Let me search. Oh, no, my computer can keep up. This would be appreciated. Oh, come on. Come on, the people want to see. Aha, there. Sorry, this is taking so long. And they have won the league every single year, apart from the year they came second. So, and they're now a 3-star reputation team. So they are starting to build up their reputation as we were expecting them to. And as we needed them to succeed. Also, they're known in Northern Ireland pretty well, probably easily. Like how they've been doing in the Northern Irish Prem since we've left them. We also have another one every year. So 99 points. So they were 27 ahead. Wow! They're done 38 points ahead in 2029-2030. They probably were ahead before the league split. Well, not ahead, but, actually have won it. Then 25 points ahead with 97 the following season. Then, 32 points the following season. So they are consistently getting to the century mark. Or they're getting very close because then you've got 99 points. 110! They actually did the Invincibles in 2033-34. All drawing 2 games. Managed to get a century of goals as well on the board. So that was an impressive season. And then 98 points the following season, only losing 2 games. And then 103 the following season after that. 104, then 100, then 105, then 103, then 108, then 105. So that now starting to consistently score 100 plus points every single season. Wow. I was that about the reputation league up. Let's have a look at the profile of the league. They're now 36 in the world. We're way lower than this before. So I wonder if that's changed the Champions League and Europa League placing. So it's still the same, I think. Yes, as it was before. That first qualifying phase, first qualifying round, respective for the Champions League and the Europa League, and they still have a playoff for their final. And obviously the Irish Cup, Northern Irish Cup, whatever you want to call it, is one of the ways you can get into the Europa League. So that's intriguing. But let's actually look at how the Dolly Birds themselves actually managed to get in Europe. Let's see how well done should rather put it. So if we look at the schedule for the senior squad. Okay, this is the season just gone by. We know what they've been doing in the league, so we'll just look at the cups in Europe. So it appears that they've been going far in competitions. For what I can see, they only got as far as the Europa League group stage. Yes, in Group A, yeah. Let me just have a look how it did in the group stage. It doesn't look like they've done well at all. Oh, hold on. That has come to the current year. That's not worked. Collects for gone, so I do apologise. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, in the group stage, they struggled a bit. It has to be said. But they won the Irish Cup, won the Ulster Cup, and they managed to win. No, they managed to lose against Lan of all clubs. One of their sticky clubs, one of their bogey clubs, possibly you could argue. And I mean that in a sense, because let's be honest, Dollingstown are probably way better than anyone else. So maybe this is the one side that can trip them up time to time. So yeah, they didn't do too badly in the cups. In fact, they did quite well, arguably, in every single final and won all but one of them. So it appears that again they struggled to get past Malmo in the Europa League qualifying rounds, having been knocked out of the Champions League. Okay, that does seem like it would have been a tough draw. Yeah, they didn't have it easy this time. They got out in the League Cup third round. And in the Northern Irish Cup 5th round, at the first hurdle, as it appears. But they won the Mid-Ulster Cup, and also they've won the league, so that's not a bad double, I suppose. Okay, again, did it make it to the Europa League group stage? This time it was Lech Poznań, a Polish team, managing to get in their way. That must be so annoying. Again, they lost the Northern Irish League Cup final. 2-2. Was that in extra time or penalties? Oh, it was on penalties. They balled it in a penalty shootout. Cause after their main penalty take, it just didn't work. But they did win the Northern Irish Cup and the Mid-Ulster Cup. So that's good. If we move on to the following season. Oh, Peace actually got into the Europa League. I don't think they got past the group stage, did they? Let's have a look. So they got to Europa League because Olympiacos beat them in the Champions League. However, sorry, my English is failing me today. So, draw against Basticas, and then Benfica beat them 1-0. And then Maccabi Haifa, I presume they're Israeli. I'll just double check. Yeah, they're Israeli. And then, yeah, lost to Benfica, lost to Haifa, and then, yeah, against Basticas. So they didn't have a good group stage, and then lose to Benfica as well. But they got to the semi-final of the Northern Irish Cup. They would have made Ulster Cup, and they actually did win the Northern Irish League Cup. So domestic treble there. They are churning out domestic doubles, trebles, and occasionally the quadruple as well. So they're doing quite well. So this time they got as far as the Champions League playoff. So this stage they were guaranteed a European group stage. But Dynamo Zagreb again are facing and just not beating. So then they actually to Europa League. Slavia Praha, they lost to them. They had a draw against TNS at home. But then again, they performed very well against Leverkusen, a 2-1 and a 1-0 loss. But again, no, they've only won one game in the group stage. If we look how they're doing in the cups, they won. They did domestic quadruple, it looks like. Yes, they did. They did the domestic quadruple. So that's a great season for them. You can see that Northern Ireland they probably have made and cemented their step as the number one at this point. So now we're starting to see they're consistently starting to get into the group stage of the Europa League. The question is, can they then get through to the knockouts? That's got to be the next stage. Yeah. Legia Warsaw turned out to be a sticky team for them in the Champions League qualifiers. But I do think they got to the Europa League group stage where, their favourite team, Zagreb, they're there to greet them. But they also played Rosenborg and AC Milan, and I don't think they picked up any points. Rosenborg, no. So they're now getting to the Europa League group stage, but they can't really do more than one draw, or maybe two. If you see how they did domestically, if I'm not mistaken, that's another domestic quadruple, because they won all the cups again. Then if we move to the following season. So they actually beat Anderlecht in the group stage. That is really impressive. Anderlecht is one of the powerful Belgian teams. Then lost to Villarreal. Then Jobanek, they had a loss and a draw. Then they lost to Anderlecht away and lost to Villarreal. That is progress. And the fact they managed to pull up an upset in the first of the group stage. That's quite decent of them. And yes, I think they once again did the domestic quadruple. So they are winning loads of trophies. They just need to start progressing in Europe. They're starting to suffer from the Celtic problem. They're winning everything at home, and if they're not winning everything, they're winning almost everything. But it's European football. That's where they're going to need to start focusing on trying to progress. Again, they're dropping into the Europa League, but they did make it into the group stage again. So they beat Razgrad in the first game. Sorry, they drew with them away. And then a 3-0 loss to Athletic Bilbao. And then a loss against Genk. And then a draw. And then a win. And then a loss against Bilbao. I don't know they've gone through. No, that wouldn't have gotten them through. But yet again, it appears that they've done domestic group. They're churning out Northern Irish League Cups, Northern Irish Cups, and Middles Cups. That's quite impressive. That's honest. I don't think they got through the Europa League group stage this time. No, Bratislava beat them on penalties in the qualifying round. Oh, penalty shootouts are not their favourite in European football. But again, it was another domestic quadruple. If we go to the following season. Razgrad, who they struggled with in the group stage a few years before. But again, it's another domestic quadruple. Churning them out. I think they got to Europa League group stage this time. Yes, they did. Molde knocked them out of the Champions League through the qualifiers. And then in the Europa League proper, in the group stage, they lost to Hanse. Thrashed by Saint Etienne. That's probably one of the first times they've been properly shown up. And then Academia Coimbra holding them to 2 draws. That's quite nice. Then Fremehanse, they lost. They beat Saint Etienne. However, though, I sense that's probably not quite good enough to be going where they need. They have the group. No, I'm going to give it a try. I really want to see this group. Nah. I'd have to faff through many years, so I won't go there. But it's quite clear to see that they didn't do it. Yeah, they managed to win the Northern Irish Cup. So Northern Irish League Cup in extra time, despite the fact that they had the man advantage for 91 minutes of that game. But by the time they had scored 3 goals, that's when they'd had their man sent off. So, again, another domestic quadruple for him. So, if we go to 39-40. Oh, there's a lot of European football on here. Oh. Malmo beat them on penalties in the Champions League qualifiers. At least this time, they managed to take Malmo pretty close. And then they got into the Europa League through the 4th qualifying round, I think. So then they end up in Group G, but then Warsaw, Saint Etienne, Spartak Moscow. Yeah, they're struggling, really. They all seem to pick at one point. And it was no quadruple because they lost in the Northern Irish Cup quarter-final. But they did pick up the League Cup and the Middles Cup. Move on to the following season. Again, falling to Europa League because of Malmo. Oh, they must hate Malmo at this point. And again, I think they failed to go through the Europa League group stage. But they seem to have done some winning through it. Oh no, that's the off qualifying round. Oh, they played Chelsea. That's tough. Then Atalanta. But they managed to beat... who? Are they Austrian, I'm presuming? Yeah, they're Austrian. So they've faced up... So they managed to beat an Austrian side. So that's pretty good. In fact, not once, but twice. But the fact that they lost both times against Atalanta and Chelsea. that will have condemned them. Oh, and they finally lose the Mid-Ulster Cup. But the domestic trouble, probably the good domestic trouble by taking the League Cup, the Northern Irish Cup, and obviously winning the Prem. And if we go to the last season that's just gone by, so they're losing the playoff against FC Copenhagen. That's true. Then they face Chelsea again in the group stage, lose to them. Then Krasnodar, they lose against them. They managed to hold past Tikas to a draw, but then they lose to them, and then they lose to Chelsea, and then they sadly only get drinking Krasnodar. So what we're seeing is they're now getting into Europa League group stage more often than not, almost every season now, but they can't seem to get results in there. That is what we're learning. And we're learning that, as I think we can see here, they are winning a lot of domestic quadruples. And if they don't seem to do domestic quadruples, they certainly do at least a treble. So that's intriguing. Let's look at the current squad. That'd be nice to see. See if there's any high potential players in there. We got Alan O'Brien. We'll go with O'Brien. He's really good. No wonder they're paying him nearly 20 grand a week. Yeah, 146 current, 181 potential. He's got potential to be, maybe not. He's not going to be Ronaldo or Messi, but he's going to be one step below. Where he's going to be a properly crisp if he realises his potential. He will want to watch. And then you got Mike Rowlands. Did he come from the Dolly-Birds youth system? No, he came from Wrexham. Then they bought him for $2 million. Wrexham now in League One, so Wrexham are making progress back in England, which is ironic because they're Welsh, but you know, we're glad. Okay, if you look at their current abilities in their squad, they're actually quite decent. About 120, 125 on average. They've got a really good squad, genuinely. Let me just check. Was Alan O'Brien a Dolly-Birds youth player? Yes, he was, and he made an instant impact. He must have already been that good that they could play him straight away. He's averaging 7.22, so he's clearly a good player. And apart from the sophomore season, he's averaging like 7.2. The guy is good. Like I said, the Northern Irish team, a lot of the Dolly-Birds players in there. I'll be intrigued to see. And then we'll see how Northern Ireland have been doing internationally. Okay, we've got a couple of the Dolly-Birds players there. Josh Gwen, did he come through the Dolly-Birds ranks? Yes, he did. See, Dolly-Birds, and they're now being the key manufacturer of the players. Okay, not this time. This was Kieran Raynor. He came through Derry City in Ireland. Yeah, then you have just he's at Everton. He looks good. Yeah, he's a Dolly-Bird. Let's actually let's have a look. 143 current 150 mil. He realises it. Wow. Yeah, and then obviously the Dolly-Birds are clearly the most reputable team now. And there's still 66 in the world, so they haven't really made progress on that. It has to be said. Stephen Hegarty, he's going to Cork City from the Dolly-Birds. Let's see if he's any good. He's 30, so he may be starting to peak. 118 current, 132 potential. Yeah, he's probably just starting to fall off the standard of the Dolly-Birds that they currently have. Because, let's be honest, they are well and truly the best team in Northern Ireland. That's indisputable at this point of the experiment. Edit club details, reputation, 5,500, decent. The finances, they're just over 600 million now. We've only got 30 million transfers and 1.15 in wage budget. They've finally expanded Planters Park. It's now got 3,108 capacity, but you wonder why they've not built a new stadium. But the training and youth are slipping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some divine intervention. Those go up to 20, because I'm a generous person. Did they develop any rivalries? No, really, nothing real. No notes. But let's see about their plays that they're making. If we go into the list, what plays are they producing? They're producing very, very solid plays. Well, we'll find out when the computer loads, of course. Come on. Come on, you can do it. So if we put it by potential, eventually. Yeah, and you got Scott Gordon, who's at Liverpool. I bet you he's a Dolly Birds player. See, if the Dolly Birds could keep on to the players, is that if they can keep on to players, they may actually progress further in Europe. Maybe get to the Europa League knockouts. Maybe even be able to progress through the Champions League playoff and maybe get to Champions League group stage. They earn a lot of money. Then you got Steven Savage. He's got bags of potential, it seems. He'll be a very solid player if he realises potential. Oh no, he's 34 actually. How did he do? So he started at Liechtenstein, then he went to AZ in Holland, one of the big Dutch teams. Then he went to Sampdoria, then he went to Genoa. So he's over the hill, but could he possibly still do a job? I mean, he's in Serie B, so that says everything you need to know. Reece Rogers, Irishman. He's 18, currently at the Dolly Birds. He's got potential. And then next keeper, really. Oh, so this is quite intriguing. They are producing very good players, it has to be said. Then got this Northern Irish lad. Everton, we've already seen. James Addis, probably their biggest player. 67 grand a week, no surprise. So yeah, it appears that the Dolly Birds do need to start trying to retain the make through the youth system. Now also giving them a boost to their youth rating to ensure that they're producing more good players and even better players. They need to start retaining those players, and because they've got the money and the reputation is starting to grow, they've probably got a reputation equivalent to a very good English Championship side. So they just need to keep working at it, European competitions, and you never know, the reputation may start to become continental. If they start performing in Europe, and they keep doing what they do in Northern Ireland. And on that note, I shall see you further down the line. Okay, so here is now, and now let's see how the birds are getting on. As we're going to Northern Ireland, clearly still from a reputable Northern Irish club. Let's see how they're doing. We've got a 200 potential. What? No way. Let's see how they've been doing. Unsurprisingly, they're dominating in the league, and they're now a 3.5-star reputation team. So they're now talking about actual Premier League reputation, like in real life, and they now got 13,000 seats. So now the growth is starting to actually give them more growth. And we got to see the areas of region manager. We've even got Spanish manager. Is he any good at manager? Let's have a look. He's good. He's good. He's good. Is he? Yes, he's a region player. In fact, he's one of the original region players for, and he was a lifelong Real Betis player. Played a lot again for them. So okay. So I think we were last at 2041-42, where they got 105 points. So let's continue going. Then I got the 109. I may be glossing over years I've already done. Then 106, then 112, 102, 106, then 109, 111, then 112. The fact is, they're getting better and better and better and better. And they're having the odd invincible season as well. This is incredible. And if we actually look at the past winners, they've only lost one of the leagues since they've joined the division from promotion. So only since 2021-22 when they got promoted, they've only lost the league once in 2023-24. Wow, that is incredible. So I don't think we need to be looking too much there. The fact got a 200 potential player. I promise you, I put my hand in the air that I promise, I have not put that in. Wow. This guy's good. Oh, he's actually from Derry City, and they've bought him. They sent him to Dundalk on a loan. Then, the average ratings, but this guy's gonna be so good. If this guy realises his potential, and he should do, because we've given him a perfect training shell. Wow! But you see, they've got a solid 140 plus players. Okay, then it does drop a little bit. But the fact is, the quality of players they're able to get at the top end are slowly getting better as the reputation keeps bowling along nicely. Now, I'm intrigued to see how they've been doing in Europe. So I think this was the last season we looked, 2041, 42. Skip on 2020, 42, 43. Again, they have failed to get to the Europa League group stage. That is quite annoying. Early losing the Middlesbrough Cup, but they won the other cups otherwise. And the following season, yeah. Okay, they did get into the Europa League group stage. Indeed, they won their first game, which is excellent, after taking Maribor on in their final qualifier. Lost to Lazio, only 1-0 though. And that's only a 6-minute goal. 0-0 with Partizan. 1-0 in the Europa League home fixture against them. Then they actually did the double game at Triospol. And they lost 3-0 against Lazio. So is that enough? No. They must just missed out on getting into the group stage. No, well, getting beyond the group stage, should I say. That must have been other result dependent, because the top two also do go through. That is harsh. And the Northern Irish League Cup final in terms of domestic cups, so that's actually not a bad one. If we go on to the following season, they got so close getting to the Champions League, but again it's Zagreb getting in the way. So then they defeat Waterford, who are an Irish team. So let's get it. Sorry, I've just realised they lost an aggregate. And again they lose the League Cup, but otherwise all's well. Okay, so then again they end up in the Europa League group stage, because again they managed to defeat Maribor. They've got a good record against Maribor, it seems. Rubin Kazan, they have a draw, then they lose to Salzburg. And then they beat Rosenborg and then draw against them. And actually beat Salzburg. Did they get through the group stage? Yes, they did. And then they managed to, unfortunately, lose to Roma in the first knockout. But that's actually making progress. It's brilliant. And they actually did do the domestic quadruple once more for the first time in quite a while. So, bet that will keep the fans certainly very happy. Again, Malmo undoing them in the Champions League qualifiers. And then they play PAOK, and it's a 3-2 on aggregate. Good comeback. Actually, it went to extra time because they were equal on away goals, because none of them scored away. Okay, so they actually do get into Europa League. Drew against Bromby in the group stage, then drew against Marseille, drew against Inter, Inter again. A defeat to Bromby, and then Marseille. To go unbeaten in 5 of the group stage games, that's brilliant. Okay, Marseille did have a red card, but they're already doing a look with Dollingstem, so... Did they get anything in Europe? No, that's slightly unlucky, but, they managed to win the domestic trophy, so fair play to them on that. And then the following season, in the playoff, they drew against Basel at home, but going away, and by the time Basel went down to 10 men, what could they do? But anyway, that meant they're in the Europa League group stage. They beat Borislaw. Unfortunately, they lost to Arsenal. They were actually drawing, but Arsenal managed to fire back 10 minutes later. Then a draw and a win against Genk. And they actually beat Arsenal! They beat Arsenal in the Europa League. That is progress. They went 1-0 up. Then it was peg back level. And then... to win at the Emirates, you know what? Fair play, that is absolutely epic, and I'm sure there is a lot of people they don't like. Don't like Piers Morgan, that will really please them. Or maybe Lewis Hamilton. And Arsenal fans that people love to hate. Well, some people, and then other people love to love them. Then it actually, 2-1-0 wins against Valencia. Okay, a red card twice helping them, but it can only beat who you're up against. And then, unfortunately, in the second knockout round, Roma undo them again. But this is the first they've gone. In 47-48, they got to the second knockout round of the Europa League. That is very good. And again, they are through the domestic trophies. Their trophy cabinet Oh, I actually think. Oh, hold on. They went to the Champions League group stage here, I think, because they finally broke their duck against Malmo on aggregate. I think it was at 3-2 on aggregate. Fair play to them. And then they managed to hold on against Basel, going all the way to Switzerland. Yeah, and actually went into the Champions League group stage. And they went to Leverkusen, and they actually managed to get a draw. Okay, Manchester City were probably too overpowered for them. I mean, 2 goals in 10 minutes. And their goalkeeper looks like had an injury as well. That wasn't great. Oh, Monaco as well. This is tough. But to go all the way to the Principality and get a 0-0, fair play. But then they lost 1-0 at home, 1-0 at home against Leverkusen, and 2-0 against Manchester City at the Etihad. And they lost the Northern Irish Cup semi-final. But the fact they got the Champions League group stage is brilliant. But if they are going to get that far, they at least need to be trying to finish third in the group to get Europa League football for the remainder of the season, or try the top 2. But there is signs of progress. It's gradual. It's a big old project because this is season 31 of the game. But with that, finally, after 30 seasons, the 31st season, they're in the Champions League group stage. So we're chipping away, and you know what? They may just well get there. But how did they do in this buying 49.50? It appears that, I think they got done on away goals against Copenhagen. That is harsh. But that meant they got Europa League football in the group stage. They beat Dynamo Kiev, lost against Viets, but they beat Real Betis at home, drew against them away. Okay, then they lost to Dynamo Kiev, but then they beat Viets. Did they get into the knockouts? They did. Unfortunately, they lost against Hoffenheim. Going down to 10 men in the first leg didn't help. Yes, okay, they went away, but Hoffenheim managed to win a 5-4 on aggregate. So, that's harsh. But again, they're flying in the domestic cups, and they're constantly bringing back triples and quadruples. They're rarely doing worse than a triple. And even then, that's like a double. I can't remember a season since they've been up there where they've failed to win all the cups. They're absolutely incredible. We'll have a look at the transfers. Haven't looked for a long while. Not since 10 years into the experiment. They saw the play to Man U for 8 mil with an option to go 9.75. He's English. They actually bought him from Bromley. Well, no. He didn't buy him from Bromley. He started at Bromley, then he went to Gillingham. Then he went to Donington on a 3. Ooh. Is he any good? He's got 182 potential. I think he's a little low. 27. He's not going to realise his potential. Even if he is training at Carrington. That is going to be difficult. So yeah, we last had a look at 2028. So we'll start with 2028-29. For some reason, it's not telling me how much this time. They actually bought Dan James, who you shouldn't mention to us Leeds fans at the moment. But the fact I managed to buy him for quite good money from Swansea. How Swansea managed to hold on to him until 2028, I have no idea. I'll have to look at his career stats just to make sure. Also, now he's a scout. He's a bit of a mess scout, it has to be said. Yeah, they managed to hold on to him for a long time. And then 14.5 million, and then, let's be honest, he tore up Northern Ireland. And yeah, so they're spending good money, but they're not really selling. Yeah. So then they got employed from Arsenal alone, Gareth Black. Bear in mind, most of the names at this point will start to be regions. Not Ross Barkley, of course. He would have been over the hill, but at that point. But they're actually sold players. One to Sheffield United, one to AZ. Then they bought from Derry for 1.5 million. Sold players for 120. Okay, they're not really a lot of movement transfer market here, I suppose. But the regions that they're making, they may not necessarily have to, and they can cash in on the ones that are going to become absolute stars, although they really ought to keep them if they're going to go far in Europe and win a Champions League. Okay. I mean, they're starting to make good money now in the transfer market by the looks. They're not really making any big movements. Okay, they bought a player from Norwich, Jerry O'Leary, for 2.7. if we keep going, the bot Jason Henderson, who's actually a player I can click on. Is he still playing? He is. Has he one of those that peaked really early or something? Because the bond for 15.25 and a solid for 1.2. He didn't really live up to his potential. I'm assuming his potential was probably huge. And he's not lived up to it. No, actually, no, he was probably overrated. But people got that wrong. But okay, fair enough. That can happen sometimes. Okay, they made a 2 million signing for Matty Rowlands from Wrexham. Was he any good? He's still at the club. His physicals are very good. He's agile, naturally fit, pacey, but strong. Okay, he may struggle to get up to speed relative to other players, but he's still not bad at getting up to speed. This guy's good and he's a Welsh international, so thanks to getting Welsh internationals in their squad, that's quite significant because there's no way that I could see a Northern Irish Prem team doing in the modern world. The Christian Adelange, that's probably not how you say it. He's a Nigerian international, not many caps. He's now currently at West Ham, but let's have a look. Okay, yeah. You can sort of see this caliber of player they've been attracting, but they have been making good money moves. I think that's been in a few million here and there. They bought Lee Gilchrist from Doncaster, whoever he is, well as a region. And of course, this is not born yet, so interesting enough. Valued at 58 million, so clearly it's like, yeah, went to 160 potential. How did it feel for the Dolly Birds? It didn't do too bad, actually. 10 goals from midfield, and 10 other assists in the second season they spent. And the Dolly Birds did make a profit, but because they have got Everton to pay more. So that's a good question to be asking them. They made some big signings. So, they actually bought a player from Leeds. I've got to look at this, just being a Leeds fan. I do apologise for the bias. He's now Kranzador. How do you do for the Dolly Birds? I've got to see something. So it came from Arsenal's roof ranks. We bought him for 32.5 grand. Then the Dolly Birds went for 1.8 million. Now that sounds like a Razziani special. Buy him cheap and sell him and get good profit. Okay, he's a early to mid 130 player in terms of potential and ability. But Kieran Bird for 10.5 million from Cardiff. Only some of these fees are inflated because they're buying players from Premier League clubs in England. He had good potential, 146. Did he just never kick on? I mean, 10.5 million, he played one season, then he went to Deportivo La Coruña, and it's just not happened for him. Okay, so they probably did pay too much. They were desperate to get somebody of his quality, really. But, you're not going to do it every time, so... But Martin Maguire, 24.5 million from Aston Villa. Again, now he's at West Ham. Not to be confused with Aston Villa, of course, Mr. David Cameron. I must admit the colours are slightly confusing sometimes. And then, 23.5 million loss. Maybe he peaked very early. That's what I'm saying. That first season he played, actually, to fair. He only played 3 games in that season, but then following season he played very well as a right back and as a wing back. Let's have a look at his attributes. Yeah, again, I think they're playing through the roof for players that they shouldn't be. Again, they have buying from Premier League clubs. They may need to be getting more savvy and trying to... they maybe should be looking at South America for players, maybe, to get good youth players on the cheap. I mean, I say cheap in a very relative sense, because you still have to pay good money to get your good regions from your Brazilian and Argentinian clubs. But still... Anyway, we'll move on. And they made 10.25 million in that transfer window, so... Okay. So they are starting to make good money in the transfer windows. Are we going to move forwards? Or maybe I should click it properly. My mouse is a bit dodgy at times. Then Reece Brent from Spurs for 9.75 million. Again, I'm still not convinced. I mean, he's playing 67 grand a week, so they are starting to assess. I mean, he's got good potential, but... If he'd have realised that, he'd be a properly decent player. And then got Francois Robin, who also from Spurs, 6.25 million. He's now at Gladbach. His attribute details, you feel like he may have peaked a little. He didn't make it to French international, but he started. You'd have spoken then to QM, then he went to Montpellier, and then to Spurs, bought for 20 million. Spurs made a huge loss, but then so did the Dolly Birds. He didn't exactly light it up, considering that's the Northern Irish Prem he was playing in. And then in a season gone by, made a 12.75 million side for Florent Avianci from Glasgow Rangers. Okay, this one's actually got. He's a Swiss player. He got quite a lot of youth caps and quite a lot of youth goals. How he's never quite gone to the Swiss team? Well, yeah, that may explain why he's just a level or two below where he needs to be an international player, and he won't quite get there. But he's actually a decent pickup, and I wonder if he's actually been making some goals. Yeah, he was averaging 7 or so for Rangers, and he's tore it up in Northern Ireland, 7.3 in his first season. Remains to be seen what he can do in the following season. But then again, they also bought a player from Barry for 675 quid. And so they're now starting to raid Wales as well. This guy actually looks pretty good. What potential has he got? 131. Okay. But I think we're starting from their level. He's about 130 to 140 in terms of their ability. But with the increased reputation, they are slowly going to bring that up. I think what they need to do is continuously make Europa League group stages. Try and make Champions League group stages. Because they've managed to get there, and they certainly can hold their own. They're certainly not being embarrassed anymore in European football. That's definitely for sure. And if we go to the season that's just ticked on, and obviously they've just sold John Dunn to Man U. I think we've gone through him before. I can't remember. Yeah, he's 182. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, he's the player that's just not quite getting where he needs to go. Let's actually look at the club itself now. I'd like to see what financial state they're in. But the fact they're getting Champions League football is good. And slowly, the Northern Irish League will be respected a bit more. You never know, that may be more European players. 6,500 rep now. Nearly 6.6, you can say it is. Finances have still got over $500 million in the bank. They've got over 106 million in transfer budget and 1.677 million in wage budget. So, that's, Sugar Daddy's an underwriter. We don't want an underwriter, so I'm going to edit this and say, no, he's a front-end one. Because I say he is. The training youth is sliding, so I'm going to I know this is very artificial, but I'm going to bring that back up because I'm determined to see them win the Champions League at some point. Fact, they've now got a decent seat stadium. I mean, what's the attendance now for 17,000? I mean, fans really do now want to see this club. I mean, they don't really have rival clubs. Okay, that's intriguing. And they've now got an affiliation with Cocoa United where they're the main club. The players go on loan. They're pro-friendlies. They give them 16.6 grand a year. Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, let's look at Northern Ireland and their national team. I mean, they're 50th in the world now, and I wonder if they still are the main factory of players in Northern Ireland. If you look at Alan O'Brien, I think we saw him. He was a Dollybirds player, and he has done fantastically for Liverpool. Ooh! No wonder why. He's pretty much achieved his potential. 181 potential, and his current is 180. He's pretty much there. He's at the peak of his game. Wow. I must admit, he's not made a full season worth of appearances for Liverpool, but when he has been appearing, he's making an impact. He certainly is one of those players you put on to make an impact, and he's doing that. Maybe he's a super sub. Let's have a look. Not really. When he does start, he's generally a first-team starter. Okay, that's intriguing. He's just one of those power players that you save up. Okay, that's fair enough. And they only bought for 350 grand. And I bet his value is much. Yeah, 75 million. It's 74 casts, only 20 goals. But then again, he's a midfielder. That guy's good. Then you got Ryan Hanna, who's at Man United. Gary Monk's the manager, by the way, of Northern Ireland. That's intriguing. 130 grand a week. And actually, he did go to Dolly Birds on loan, but no, he actually started at Berlin Mad United, who are a Northern Irish team. Then Man City picked him up, and the Dolly Birds have had him on loan, but then he went to Valencia, then Man U. Probably a bit of a controversial figure in Manchester, but if we edit his attribute details, okay, he's not quite reached his potential, but he is a very good player, nonetheless. And you got Gary Scott, he's a bit... his attributes are quite random. No, he wasn't associated with the Dolly Birds, okay, but he does look like a good player. Charlie Knowles, currently at Chelsea. He was a Dolly Birds player. And then they loaned him to Land, then Chelsea bought him, then Dolly Birds ironically loaned him, and he tore it up. But he's not getting games at Chelsea. Chelsea must have a very strong side. 149, yeah. I suppose he'd be good for a team lower down the English Prem. He'd be very suited to Scottish Premier League football. I think he probably needs to lower his standard just a little. Then got James Addis at Everton. Yeah, okay. 134 potential 150. Breeze 36. Breeze is a goalkeeper, and he played for both Liverpool clubs. Oh, he played not many games for Liverpool, but he did very well in the games that he did. And you know, he's actually been quite solid for Everton. Really, could have put him slightly better, but you know what? Yeah. He was a good player. He was a good player. And he still is. And then you got Matt Morgan, who is currently at the Dolly Birds. Isn't he the one with the 200 potential? No, he's got 146 potential, but... Yeah. And now if we go to the short list, let's look at some Dolly Bird players. Certainly players that they have produced and nurtured, etc., etc. The game is starting to take a bit longer now because it is a little old. And I'm recording as well, so computer to record itself and play Football Manager. Well, I don't think it's taking too well to that. I know, so... So that player with 200 potential... was he... Oh, no, of course we saw he came from... was it Derry, wasn't it? Yeah! But it appears that they're using players nonetheless. I mean, make one potential on a brain, and then they're producing a lot of players who may not certainly be the creme de la creme, but they'll certainly be footballers that make a very good living, have a very good careers, and who knows, maybe in the future of this universe, we won't exploit too much, could actually be very, very good backroom people as well. Okay, so they are producing good players. I mean, the potential that they're getting, yeah. The fact that they're under-delivering a little, is that the fault of the players? Is it the fault of the youth system at the Dolly Birds? Who's to say, but clearly they're developing something solid. But the thing I do want to look at is the Northern Irish Prem. Are they finally now starting to get more European places because of the Dolly Birds? Let's have a look. Because now they're the 19th most reputable league around. They're now more reputable than the Championship. I think the Dolly Birds have to be thanked for that. They must be trying to get more European football now. Yeah, things have changed because now it's the... Yeah, they must have, because it's now talking... There's no... Hold on, yeah, place called bad. Yeah, actually, no, it is the same, sorry. It's the same, but... I think it is the same. Sorry, I really should be looking this up. But, yeah. Certainly. If this keeps going on, yes. They are going to be better places. But it seems to be no longer dependent on the winner of the Irish Cup. So that's intriguing. Well, Penrose, that be all related to Brexit. The UK did leave the EU in 2020. By the way, roughly 30 years, pretty much to the day. So Irish players are considered non-foreign. Okay, that's to be expected, really. So yeah, if that's that, yeah, it may be because soon they're going to be coming for other divisions. If we have a look, yes, because they're not, because here they are at the moment. They are currently 19th in the world in terms of reputation. That may be because of the work that the Dollybirds are doing. Because they used to be way, 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 way down, like here or something. And now they're way up there. I mean, now on the verge of becoming the second biggest league in Britain after the English Premier League, of course, which is the most reputable in Europe. But most certainly, yeah, they're going to be rivals in the Scottish Premier League before long. Then again, I suppose there's only so long you can ride on Celtic. But will that kind of be the limit for Northern Irish football? But the fact is, people are starting to watch Northern Irish football more now. And clearly the work the Dollybirds are doing with their consistent showing, wiping the floor with all the domestic leagues and trophies, and the fact they are chipping away at Europe. They're always visible. You know, they're always a team you'll be looking out for in the group stage draws and stuff. But yes, so I think I'm going to conclude this video for today. It has gone on for a long while. Do you guys want to see a second part? I may do a second part, regardless of whether you guys think or want. But I'm certainly aiming for doing another one, because I wonder if it can be done. We've come so far, but there's far to go. I would put it like that. But anyway, I shall see you next time. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye.